Okay, so you guys have just had this large stone door slammed down behind you, and obviously locked by the guards outside. You're in a small little alcove with about 3 torches lighting up the room. The only thing in this notable room is an obvious lift system that looks big enough to require maybe 3 carts.
Okay. So it's just the lift system and a small room.
Yes.
Well, obviously the lift system takes you down to the catacombs, so why don't we just gather everyone onto the catacombs, or onto the lift?
Kyrie will make her way over. The Beat Knight will be the one to bench the cart, the coffin, with Ophelia's armor in it. Or did you change last time? I'm
I
sorry.
changed last time.
Okay, so then it has your funeral dress and garments in it.
Yes.
Everyone loads onto the cart, and there's an obvious chain pulley system we'll have to activate.
I'm going to start doing that.
Alright, you feel a bit of resistance as this thing has obviously had some age on it, but it works fairly well for what you'd expect. And you very effortlessly lower yourself down this large dumbwaiter of sorts. You feel the bottom clank into position before you can see anything. It is very dark. The faint waft of decay can be smelt on the frigid air down here. It is cool, not cold. As your eyes adjust, this room is not entirely dark. There are a few torches and sconces kind of line the far walls.
I've got low light vision. Does that help any?
Yes, but this entire room can be seen, and you are immediately met with stacked coffins thrown about the room.
Alright. That's a lot of coffins.
Do you say that aloud?
Yes.
Kyrie will retaliate by letting you know that this is in fact the cemetery. This is mass storage. This is where the less fortunate of those who are buried down here get to be buried. There are 4 platforms, each with stairs leading up to them, which each have 2 doors respectively, which appear to be leading outward from this room.
Alright.
Kyrie will look to you, Elric, and suggest, okay, if we're going to be starting a map, let's start a map. Here's as good a place as any to start. And something in your pocket resonates.
Slip it open.
It's the oracle paper. Update! Question mark. It's written on it.
I start writing it in the catacombs.
Are you in a position where you're facing Kyrie, or are you facing away from her right now?
I'm facing Kyrie.
Okay. Is that the map?
Like, no, time to come clean. First and foremost, I don't trust you.
Fair.
But we are actually here to gather something from one of the tombs.
That wasn't so hard, now was it?
No, but like I said, I don't trust you.
Still fair. So, do you know who you're pinching off of?
Not specifically. I know there's this particular insignia that's with him, and he is, from what I'm going to presume, in the, let's see, if we're in the cemetery, it's down there, we need to head, probably northeast-ish. He is underneath the memorial stones.
Ooh. You seem
Yeah.
generally intrigued now. And I'm sure you're getting a high price for that.
No, we're getting gypped on that one. But whatever we find in there besides the item that the individual wants, we can keep. So that means you're in there too.
You haven't established a payment?
Let's just say he keeps dodging the question.
Oh my god. She just throws her head in her hands like, oh, I'm working with idiots.
But like I said, whatever we find in there, we can keep.
Yeah, no. I'll make this work. So, do you know where you're going, or?
Well, I first need to try and establish which direction north is, and from there we can start finding our way.
Why not use that fancy compass of yours? She'll point to the golden compass latched to your belt.
That's what I was about to do. Flip open the compass.
Compass is pointing this way.
And that is the way that we go. I point to that area and say, we should probably start heading this way first. Any objections?
Kyrie shakes her head.
I just stare at Kyrie evilly. I'm down. Stare at Kyrie evilly. I guess.
Alright, then that's the way we're going. So we start going that way.
Okay. Now there are a set of doors here, 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 and here.
Bless you.
Gesundheit.
Ophelia's allergic to dust.
It is dusty down here, yes.
Let's go through this door.
Kyrie's gonna offer help to the beat knight trying to get this cart upstairs. He would politely decline. You get the thing up. Very, very surprisingly, without jutting anything out of place. You are met with a large set of wooden doors. They are very tall, at least 10 feet. But no more than just wooden doors. They do not appear to be fortified or really anything too spectacular.
I would like to inspect it for traps.
Roll it.
2.
Just plain old big wooden doors.
Let's try and go through them.
Alright, there are 2 large iron handles off the door. You try them and the door easily opens. They open inwards. A little bit heavy as expected with their size. You are kind of met with somewhat of a fork in the road.
Okay.
The hallway's still lit with this dimly spare torch. Almost placed far enough, if they were any farther out of your view, you believe it would be almost unseeable down here, but you somewhat suspect that these torches aren't maintained too often.
Okay.
Kyrie just kind of leans up against this wall, kind of expecting to make your next move, or maybe even just waiting. But you're immediately met with these walls here. Are completely catacomb-esque. They have the notched-in coffins in the walls, stacked about 4 high, and continuing onward as far as you can see down the hallways.
Okay. I pull out the compass again, just to make sure,
Compass is still pointing this way.
and that's the way we go.
You enter into a large room. You are not able to see all the walls this time. You can see about yay far. There's an immediate support pillar made of stone in front of you, but as Kyrie states, you have obviously met and found yourselves in mass storage. There are just rows of pretty standard and poorly made wooden coffins just lining the floors.
Alright.
You get a slight shudder from the beat knight. Why would anyone bury their loved ones in boxes? This is uneasy.
I agree with you.
If my death is to be arranged anytime soon, please do not put me here.
Oh, come on, Kyrie kind of spouts up to you, Ophelia. You don't want to be buried among the rich and your friends here? This is high lifestyle.
This is a mass grave.
Yes, but a rich mass grave.
If I honestly cared about riches, I would have been. I would expect payment. I'm just here for the adventure. I don't really care.
Kyrie will just begin to start walking into the room.
I follow suit on the opposite side of her.
I just continue my evil glare and follow.
Elric, you can see there's a hallway, kind of up towards the northish. The southern end kind of continues onwards, and the northward end continues onwards. Kyrie's going to keep walking northward.
I'll just follow her this time.
If you get right about here, and you'll notice you're entering another room.
Alright.
This room's a smaller one, of course. Still coffins just standing about the room. There's an obvious door at the eastward end. Elric, you notice this wall. It's not in fact a wall, but a very large tapestry curtain, just kind of hanging from ceiling to floor, like a fake wall.
I want to use... I got a skill for this.
I have dead end senses. Are my dead end senses tingling?
Ophelia, your dead end senses are telling you that whatever is behind this curtain would be a small room of some sorts.
Sweet.
There's a skill for that too, that's dungeoneering. Actually, turns out I don't have that particular skill I'm looking at. Can we check it out real quick?
Sure, do you want to physically check it out, or do you want to use like your dead end senses?
I go ahead and just go in.
The curtain is very large, like a large velvet curtain. It is very heavy in nature. You have to pull on it a little bit. Excuse me. You have to pull on it a little bit to get it to budge anywhere. Ophelia, how are you trying to move this curtain? Are you trying to pick it up over your head, or like pull it to the side like a shower curtain?
Kind of trying to pull it to the side enough I can squeeze in.
Alright, it's very heavy and kind of excess, but you are able to pull this to the side. Do you peek around the side, or do you just pull it out big enough to you just kind of squeeze in?
I just peek around the side.
Alright, here's what you see. Another smaller room, filled with more boxes. These are literally stacked on top of each other like before, almost to the ceiling.
I just turn around and tell Elric it's nothing, just another room of coffins.
At this point, I check the compass.
Still heading just straight east.
Then is there a door that way?
Kyrie's right in front of a doorway.
Then, let's go.
I follow suit.
This room is smaller, but the large opening shows a flight of steps that lead downwards. This room is empty. It does not have anything of notice in it. At this point you start to notice the floor is very uneven. Not cobblestone, but looks like just straight up carved stone.
Well, that's fancier, so...
You can see about this far there's a small set of stairs that just lead downward. Not a flight, but making this hallway open up into a very tall vaulted hallway.
I walk down.
Right, Elric, you immediately notice the stonework in this hallway is very well done. It's much more elaborate and finely cut, with like brickwork embezzlements on everything.
Alright.
And there are, from your position here, all you can see is two small little sets of stairs leading downwards, and whatever is downwards have light sources spilling out from, just behind these corners.
Okay. Well, I say out loud, we're certainly headed in the right direction because we're getting fancier. We must be getting into the richer districts.
Kyrie's gonna kind of wander up ahead right about here and lean against the wall.
Alright. What do I see from my vantage point currently down the stairs?
You immediately see this is not in fact a hallway, but an alcove. You are met with a single torchlight that is centered on the end of the wall ahead of you. These stairs lead are about like 3-4 3 or 4 steps that lead downward into a personalized tomb. A large silver tomb that have large golden handles, little alcoves and notches in the walls with offerings and flowers. These are definitely important graves.
Okay. Any defining features like markers or symbols?
There are, in fact, engravings on the lid. Ophelia, are you just standing on the steps?
I venture down.
Everyone roll perception for me, if you please.
I've got 19 on that one.
17.
Okay.
Now you decide to like.
Elric, what'd you get?
I said I got a 19.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's alright.
It is eerily quiet. You do not hear any other voices. No sounds, not even any rats. No sound. As at this point you all realize that there is, unnaturally, no sound. It is quickly interrupted by the large clattering and clanging as the Beat Knight rolls this cart down the steps behind him.
So what does that necessarily mean? There's no sound, so it's completely dead silence, no pun intended?
It is very quiet. There are not even any expectant sounds, like maybe a rock echoing, like falling from the ceiling, or any, like, insects or rats, as you would probably expect.
Then, well, there might be a silent spell cast on the area just to keep things peaceful, out of respect for the dead. Just to nullify ambient noise.
Kyrie will ask you, how do you know which box you're looking for?
I hesitantly pull out the little sketching I did of the symbol that we're looking for.
The symbol itself appears to be of a triangle, a pointed downwards triangle with 3 branching lines off of the top. A unique symbol, to say the least. But that is all you were given.
I say, this is our identifier. This is what we're looking for.
She looks it over real quick, but she doesn't look fazed by it. She just shrugs and will begin to walk over here and start peering at this tomb.
I go into this one and check the symbol.
Alright, there's a thin layer of dust over it, but it is obvious these markings and this symbol on this coffin is not a match.
Okay. I'm going to presume hers is not a match either, so let's keep moving forward.
In fact, you spin around and she is gone.
Works for me.
I just look at Elric. You idiot! She's going after it.
She doesn't even know what exactly we're looking for. I didn't tell her that.
But she knows it's of something valuable in that specific area.
Yeah? What's your point?
So she'll just take everything.
Go kill her.
I do not have a taste for blood, thank you. I prefer not killing people. Unless Yes, it's you. On which hand, I'll just
Found
give
it! Rings out.
Awesome. Follow her.
The knight will keep up with the cart kind of lazily clattering behind. The room opens up a little bit more. I'll say this is what you can see from here. This room opens up into almost a branching, like a splitting path of sorts, and there is a tomb directly behind you guys as well. Kyrie kind of steps to the side and allows you access. Beat Knight will set the cart down and kind of step a little bit closer to see what's going on.
I step in. Is there anything in here particularly besides our goal?
There's a large stone, what could be described as either an altar or even a bench, with offerings of what appear to be some flowers, some coins, but this one has not been updated. This one's been sitting here a while. The flowers are all practically dead. There's a few little notched alcoves right here in the walls that have a few more signs of offerings, but this one's pretty bare or it's been a while. On top of the silver lid is in fact the matching symbol on your paper, and what you would expect either a name or some signification, but it is not in Elvish. It's not in a language you recognize right off the bat.
Okay.
It's not Elvish.
It's not Elvish. The two languages I know are Elvish and Draconic, as well as Common.
It would be obviously neither of those three.
Okay.
Kyrie's going to kind of scooch along the side here and stand along the side of the...
Is it something I can identify?
If you...
What do you know?
If you want to roll whatever you think would work, let's try either...
I know Elven and Dragon.
Well, let's try this. I'll give you a choice of either intelligence, history, wisdom, or even religion. I think any of those would help.
Well, there's nothing I'm going to be able to help with because I don't have any points in those skills.
Would it be wisdom?
It'd probably be, just flat wisdom.
I'll try wisdom.
Okay. One or two of the letters seems to form out. You get like an A and a T, but it's... Whatever this is like either an old version of something or a newest mixed version. You can't quite make it out, but it looks... Something's delving in the back of your mind, Ophelia. You feel like you should have studied this, but you didn't.
I probably wasn't paying attention in class.
Well then, which way does the casket open?
It's a solid lid. From what you can inspect, this entire lid just comes off. It does not have a hinge.
Okay, so from this side, with the coma stone in hand, I want to push the lid off, and while I'm pushing it, drop the stone in the coffin.
Roll strength.
And then, well, I rolled 19 with a -1 modifier is 18.
Alright. This is solid silver. This is very heavy. Give it all your might and brace your feet against the floor, the wall behind you. You actually shove this coffin, the entire tomb, like an inch on the floor, but the lid does not budge.
I'll come over and help.
Okay, hold on, I would like to...
Kyrie's just gonna face palm. The oracle paper will resonate.
Right. I'm not even going to look at the oracle paper. I just put my hand to my chin like I'm thinking, snap my fingers, and like, right, I remember something. I pull out the sack with the whatever's in it.
That's very descriptive.
Well, you know what it is, but I don't. The sack that I've got to open the chest.
The
Or
key,
chest.
the key you were given to open
Right, whatever. The nondescript key.
that was instructed for you not to open until you get to the tomb.
Right.
It's a small little pouch, fits in your palm. Do you open it?
I open it.
It is a kind of reddish, blackish gemstone that appears to be starting to glow now that you've unwrapped it from its parchment.
Okay. Do I notice any effect therein after unwrapping it? On the coffin?
Not on the coffin itself, but the gemstone begins to glow. It's beginning to get brighter.
Can I place it on the coffin?
Certainly, you can do whatever you like. Kyrie is now taking notice of this very shiny gemstone.
I place it on the coffin.
As soon as you set it down, it completely acts like a flashbang, so to speak. Not a blinding light, but certainly a bright, radiant light. And just as bright as it gets, like someone hits a light switch, it's out. Just as dark and unlighted as before.
Okay. I want to try and open the coffin now. Same way I did before.
Okay, are you trying to lift the lid or kind of scoot it towards Kyrie to slip in whatever you were doing?
I want to try and scoot it towards Kyrie to do what I was doing before.
Alright, roll me strength again.
That's an 18 with a negative is 17.
Alright, easily done. You feel a bit of resistance as you now feel the weight that this is, in fact, still heavy, silver. But the lid, in fact, does slide. You easily slide it about, I want to say, about a couple of inches, trying not to get noticed, I think is your plan.
Yep.
And you wanted to do what? I'm sorry?
Drop the coma stone in there so it looks like it's like, part of the final resting offering.
Alright, as I believe, before you actually went into the cemetery, I believe you got that off of Ophelia, so I'm not going to hold that against you.
Yeah, I gave it to him.
You pull it out, you roll sleight of hand. Roll performance. No,
Nope.
sleight of hand, I'm sorry.
No, that's not what I was panicking over. I almost lost my die.
Oh my.
It had a nice roll and I didn't want to re-roll it. Okay, and you said performance or sleight of hand?
Sleight of hand.
Okay. Sleight of hand is a +1 with a 17 is 18.
Alright, yes, you easily slip your hand into your pocket and pull out this little coma gem in its cloth without Kyrie noticing.
Right.
And you place the entire thing, cloth and all, in the casket?
No cloth.
Do you place it anywhere or do you just kind of dump it in?
I just place it gently so it doesn't make a clattering sound or anything. Just right by the side of the, hopefully whatever's in there.
From your vantage point, you can only see kind of like the interior, kind of like the side lining that's closest to you of this tomb. It is of nice, like cloth linen, like pillows. So it easily just kind of, gently lands on this nice pillowy bed of sorts.
Okay.
Kyrie's gonna step around the kind of back here, noticing you're trying to open the lid towards her. And we'll begin to stand here and kind of put a hand on either side of the lid, waiting for you to, as if trying to help. She's ready to slide this lid off as well.
Can I ask the Beat Knight to help us lower it down on the other side so it doesn't damage the lid?
Certainly so. With that, Kyrie will step around this side, as the Beat Knight will hold on to here. Everybody roll strength. It's good.
Except for me, I'm over in the corner.
Can
I
you come
said
over here and
everybody
help me?
roll. No, you're good.
No, can she come over here and help me? Because I rolled a 4. With a -1 is 3.
Okay, I see him struggling, so I wander over.
Okay?
That's an 18.
Alright. Yes, Kyrie failed her first strength roll to kind of losing her grip. So now with everybody adjusted, this lid's... You gingerly slide this lid off. The lid is sitting right here, kind of half propped up against the tomb and half, like, on the floor. Leaning up against the tomb.
Awesome.
You are immediately met with the sight of what is inside the coffin. In fact, a wizard-like body laying in the exact coffin stance, arms down to its side. It appears the entire lining of the tomb is very cloth and pillowified, like you have seen previously. There is in fact a large pillow underneath the body's head. The body itself is cloaked in like a very dark navy-ish robe. It has a hood on. This body has obviously been through decay. It's not perfectly preserved, but this body is not just a skeleton. It's actually got skin on it, but it's like sunken in eyes. This
It's an
is,
unwrapped mummy.
yes, it's a dead body. But more noticeably, everyone's eyes are attracted to the shiny objects you are now seeing inside of this coffin. The body itself has multiple rings about its fingers. Elric, you notice there is a large flask laying right up next side to the pillow. There is an amulet, or a necklace of some kind, protruding from underneath the hood, kind of hidden underneath the low-cut V-neck of this cloak. There is a bracelet on one of the hands, and there appears to be a wand of some kind that is broken in half, lying like about its midsection, as well as you believe to be a folded hat on the opposite side of the pillow.
Alright.
And on your side would in fact be the coma gem resting by the right hand.
Okay. We were supposed to be on the lookout for some form of staff. Is that in here?
I'm sorry, what?
Were we not supposed to be looking for some form of staff? Is that in here?
Are you asking me?
Yes, you just described everything that was in there.
Correct. There is no staff.
Hmm.
The paper resonates again.
I pull it out.
Update, question mark.
No staff in coffin.
You just get back the words, what staff? Question mark.
Yeah. What?
You just write back what? Is that what you do? I'm asking.
No. What was the object in question?
A small gemstone in place of an amulet.
I write a big check mark. Where did I get staff from? I'm an idiot. I state to everyone, okay, our target is the amulet, but everything else around here is fair game.
With that, Kyrie is instantly trying to pry a ring off of one of the fingers.
I shiver. I'm okay. I think I have a little more respect for the dead than that.
Let's see. Let me go ahead and just try.
I can't. I state that I can't, in good conscience, steal from the dead. I already have an issue with our target anyway.
Kyrie's managed to pry about 3 rings off of one of the hands and has pocketed them. She'll kind of pick up the brim of the hat and look about the hat a little bit and set it back down.
Well, since there's not enough room on this side, I urge Ophelia back this way so Kyrie can get over on this side.
I go ahead and obey.
Kyrie's taking notice that you guys aren't just grabbing for treasure.
Yeah.
We've already stated that we would prefer not to take from the dead.
She will remember this. Obviously, you're not professional grave robbers. I can somewhat respect that, she says. She manages to pry another ring off of this hand. She slips the bracelet off, kind of awkwardly past the big rings.
Right.
And kind of laying the somewhat rigor mortis hand back down, you notice that as the hand kind of gently lands on the pillow, the little orange coma gem kind of slightly bounces into view. She reaches for it.
Excellent.
She grabs it and pockets it.
She has not been affected whatsoever, has she?
No. She begins looking about the lining of the bedding now, from where the little coma gem was kind of lying, as if to see if she's missed anything. She will now pick up the flask. It's a small little silver flask. Tips it over once or twice. Opens it, tilts it upside down, and immediately tilts it back up as some sort of liquid has spilled out from it. Kind of making a mess about her feet. She will recap it and set it back in the coffin. Kind of shake off her shoes.
It would appear as though this wizard enjoyed a good drink once in a while.
I will kind of give a somewhat sarcastic yeah as she's trying to dry her shoes off.
I want to take the hat.
You can take the hat.
I check the broken wand also.
The wand is nothing special, more than just a simple stick of sorts. No magical markings or anything on it, but it is in fact snapped in half.
I collect it. You never know when you might be able to come across someone who can repair a wand.
You collect the broken wand.
What happened to not robbing a grave?
In its place, I leave several gold coins.
The Beat Knight kind of looks about everyone kind of, well, except Ophelia, kind of just taking, their loot. Everyone, well, 3 of you are somewhat victors and, take for money and whatnot. The Beat Knight just kind of looks around, not really wanting to take anything, but you can tell from his kind of fidgeting around, the Beat Knight feels left out and will very gingerly kind of reach a hand forward and kind of wiggle one of the feet of the corpse.
I go ahead and pick up the flask and gesture to hand it to him.
But didn't she take the flask?
No,
she set it back down. The Beat Knight will politely decline and pat where his teapot and cups are stored, but will give you a nod.
I want to investigate and see if I can tell what kind of liquid's in there.
Okay, you can pull open the top of the flask, but peering inside of it, it looks empty. But it obviously feels like there's something inside of it. You suspected that's probably what Kyrie did, and you saw her tilt it, and it began to spill out liquid.
Can I smell it?
You certainly can.
I mean, I have heightened senses, so
You begin to pour, well, tilt this flask in a pour-like motion, and it begins to easily flow liquid like it's just completely full. And you're beginning to pour all this liquid on the floor.
I just want to sniff it and see if I can identify it. Is it like alcohol or a potion or...
You can, in fact, smell alcohol on it. As far as you can tell, it's beginning to be some sort of ale or brew of some kind. But as you're attempting to smell this drink of some kind, you are still pouring, in fact. There's a lot more liquid in this flask than should be possible.
I just laugh. It has a charm.
I'm personally, I know exactly who this is, but I can't say jack.
The DM is going to tell you that I am messing with your emotion, but you fool yourself.
I hate you.
But that was the plan.
I hate you. I take the amulet.
I just stopped pouring out of the flask. He's like, I like this. I'm gonna keep it.
Elric, this necklace, amulet, whatever it is around its neck, but it is whatever is on it is hidden underneath the chest portion of the low-cut robe.
Can I uncover it? Like, pull it out a little bit?
Certainly.
I pull it out a little bit?
It is in fact a shiny little purple gemstone, kind of like on a pendant on this necklace.
Well, I cautiously and respectfully remove it from his head.
It is around his neck, underneath
I
his
lift
hood.
his head.
You would have to pull his hood down or slip this around his head.
I would like to slip it around his head.
Alright, in fact, I'm gonna have to need you to roll for this one.
Okay.
Are you trying to be careful, or are you just trying to be cautious? Or, I don't know how to phrase this.
I'm being careful and respectful.
You roll performance. That'll work.
Okay.
Ooh.
That'll do. That's a +3 with a 15, 16, 17, 18.
Alright. You are very gingerly maneuvering this necklace around this wizard's head, trying not to disturb him as best as possible. But it actually snags on something like behind his head. You are stuck.
How strong is the chain?
It's a very flimsy little chain. It is a small little like gold necklace. It is nothing too particular.
I'm going to presume that they're after the gemstone itself instead of the chain. So, Ophelia, can you come over here and snap this chain without damaging the body?
I can try, but I make no promises on the damaging part. I walk over to try and pop the chain off.
It's real simple. Hand on chain, brute strength it.
Okay, fine. I brute strength the necklace.
Roll strength.
19.
Oh, easy done. You snap this like a piece of string. Elric,
Yes.
there is a hand now holding on to your left hand, like around your wrist,
Okay.
very gingerly.
It's the corpse.
There is, in fact, the left hand of the corpse is now in a position where it is just kind of just gently resting around your wrist, with you holding onto the edge of the tomb. As you turn your attention to it and look back, you notice the corpse's head is just kind of tilted in your direction, as if to take notice of what you were doing. It's not a death grip, it's just kind of got its hand just gently resting on your wrist like, do you really want to do this? Or like, please no, or something of the two.
I tell the corpse that I'm sorry, but this is my job. Is there any... This is what I have to do.
The right hand will begin to reach up, slightly like it's trying to reach towards Ophelia, but this corpse is certainly in no shape to move.
I hold out the flask, kind of gesturing. Is this what you want back? Do you want it back?
Whatever it's reaching for, it's struggling, it's having a hard time, but it is not evident on what it's reaching for.
You want to just put the flask in its hand?
Yeah, I'll put the flask in his hand.
You attempt to do so, but it does not want to grab for the flask.
Okay.
Am I holding the gemstone?
No, you've just broken the necklace. You have since then released so. The necklace is still resting on his chest, now broken and able to be taken, so to speak. And Elric, you've just kind of halted your motions.
I want to roll insight right now and see if I can't find out what the corpse is trying to get after.
Okay, roll it.
That is a 13 plus 3 is 16.
Alright. This thing is in dire need. You can tell whatever this corpse wants, it's in a bad way, and more ways than one. It is like someone reaching to prevent someone from pulling life support, so to speak. This thing is panicked, so to speak. Kyrie will just chime up at this point and tell you to grab the gem and let's just go.
I look at her. Can I have that little orange gem that you picked up?
She'll pull it out from her pocket and look it over once or twice and then shrug and just hand it to you.
I want to make sure I have a piece of cloth in my hand.
Now hold on, you've got your armor on, so you've got that gauntlet thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, I have a gauntlet. I take it from her.
You take it from her.
Yeah, and I want to put it in the wizard's hand.
You put it in the wizard's hand. He does not really grab at it. It kind of just falls in the coffin.
Fine, I put it on his chest where it is touching him.
It is now on his chest, just short of the necklace with the gemstone.
It's not doing anything. I think magic is nullified here. I don't say that out loud.
Well, this is a substitute. I try and play it off like I don't know what it does.
I'm just... Hand it back to Kyrie. Sir, I'm very sorry. I removed the amulet.
I hand the gemstone back to Kyrie. Sorry, I thought it might do as a good substitute.
Elric, please take me 9 damage.
Sure.